Hello everyone and welcome back to the Honeybee Stamps YouTube channel. I'm so glad to have you here for day 5 of the Love Letters release, coming to honeybeestamps.com on January the 2nd. Today's collection is called Love in Paris. We've got some really cute bunnies called Honey Bunnies, a coordinating die set with that one. We have Enjoy the Ride with the little bunnies on a tandem bike and a scooter, some great sentiments. There's a coordinating die with that one as well. We have a brand new buzzword called Adore. It has all of those great mix and match words and sentiments that go along with that one. There is also a coordinating die set that goes along with Adore that's going to cut out some shadows and that scripty word. We have the Parisian Skyline Scene Building die set. So this is a really super fun detailed die set. It's going to be a lot of fun to create really great backgrounds. We have Wispy Clouds, and then we also have the Wispy Cloud stencil. And then we have a Parisian Skyline stencil. It's super fun to create the perfect backdrop for your bunnies or your scene building dies. Now first up is a really super sweet 6x6 stamp set. This is called Honey Bunnies. You can see there are 4 different bunny images, 2 that have the little pair of bunnies, and then 1 that's a little bunny cupid or fairy. There's also the little sweet guy there in the bottom left hand corner holding the little heart. There's lots of great greetings in this one as well. To my honey bunny, somebody loves you, hello, hi, for somebody special. Now the coordinating die set is going to cut out all of those cute images along with the sentiments and all the hearts. So this is super cute, be great for birthdays, Valentine's, or anniversaries. Now this 6x6 stamp set is called Enjoy the Ride. You have the bunnies on the scooter and then the bunnies on the little tandem bike. There's also all types of accessories. So if you wanted to have your little bunnies have kind of a Parisian theme, we've included all that for you. So there's a baguette, there's a wine glass and wine bottle, there's little love letters or mail, there's also a little beret, and there's sentiments like ooh la la, bonjour. And then there's also great sentiments like my best adventures are the ones I have with you. I'm so glad we're on this journey together. And then there's things like will you be my Valentine in French or I love you in French. So these are fun just to mix and match and create really fun scenes. There's also a coordinating die set with this Enjoy the Ride stamp set. It's going to cut out both of those cute little bunny images and then all of the accessories and the sentiments. Next up is the Adore buzzword set, and this is kind of a fun one. So we've included the word adore. There you can see the scripty word, but we've also added the J and the apostrophe. So if you wanted to make your little bunnies into a Parisian theme or use the Parisian Skyline scene building dies, which we'll get to in a minute, you have the option to change your English word into French here. And you could say, I adore your hugs, I adore our friendship, you're adorable. There's also that great coordinating die set that's going to go right along with the buzzword stamp set. And that one includes the 3 dies for the word adore. So you have the shadow and also the scripty word, but then it also includes the dies for the J and the apostrophe. So lots of fun to play along with the Parisian theme that we have going on here. Now we also have lots of scene building options here. So we've got some stencils and some dies. I love this Parisian Skyline scene building die set. It has lots of great detail and makes really fun scenes. There's also a stencil set. You can see the skyline here. This is almost kind of a 3-piece die set. You're going to clip apart those sides and then do some really fun techniques with that. There's also the Wispy Cloud dies and the Wispy Cloud stencils, and I'm going to get into creating a scene card with some of these products right now. Okay, so what I have done first is I have clipped apart my Parisian Skyline stencil. I'm going to hold these up here in just a second, but you can see right there on the edges where those were joined together one sheet of acetate or plastic there. You clip apart the sides, and then you're going to get 3 different looks for rooftops and chimneys and things like that. Now I'm going to create a little Parisian scene here, and I'm going to do it a little different. There's lots of different ways, obviously, that you could use these stencils, but I'm going to make it look like that you are kind of looking down the center of a street into the Eiffel Tower. So I am going to first start out, and you can see my little skyline there at the bottom. I'm going to start out with them very low on my paper, and those are going to be the buildings or the rooftops that are farthest away. These are also going to be the lightest color, so I'm blending on a very light gray. Now I'm going to take the other side of that stencil. I just moved it over. I'm going to leave the center portion there open. You can see I'm kind of getting that set up to where it's going to be the same height as the skyline or the rooftops on the right hand side. I'm kind of blocking off all my paper. And then again, I'm going to brush on some really light color, and I'm going to try to match the same intensity as it is on the right hand side. So once I brush that on, I'm going to peel back my stencil, and then I have my first layer of rooftops or buildings. Now, this doesn't look like a whole lot right now, but I'm going to keep building on this as I go along. So I'm going to raise, this is a second stencil, I should say that. There are 3 different roof lines. So I'm using a different roof line set. I'm raising it up so it would be, this would be closer to me than the buildings that I previously stenciled on. And I'm just going to go right over the top of those that are on the bottom. But I'm going to try to blend on that color darker than the one before, because they're closer to me. They would be more intense in color. And then they would also be a little more high up in the skyline to make that appear like they are closer to me. Now again, doesn't look like a whole lot right now. I'm going to keep working. Again, I'm going to use the other side of that same rooftop stencil, the same Parisian skyline stencil. And again, I'm going to go right over the top of the ones that I did on the bottom. That's okay. I'm going to build on the color a little more intense to make it a little darker, to make those seem like they're a little bit closer. And then I'm going to peel up that stencil. So peel that up. And then I'm going to do one more round. So I'm going to make the next stencil, because remember there are 3 pieces to that skyline. I'm going to move it up again, and I'm going to stencil this on even darker in color. So I'm going to do a darker charcoal gray, and I have moved those over to the edges of the paper each time I move them up. So I kind of move the stencil up and this one to the right. For the other side, I'm moving them up and to the left. And that is going to draw your eye in to the center like you're looking down a street or an alleyway. So I've got that blended on in dark. Now I'm going to take the rooftops, and I'm kind of looking at the cute little chimneys and the different shapes of the roof lines. And I'm going to get that set exactly where I want it. And again, I'm only going to blend on color in that small portion. And again, I'm going to do this in that darker charcoal gray. And this one's going to be a little more intense. I'm just blending that color over the others. Now I'm going to peel these back, and then you're going to be able to see the 3 different layers of roof line. Okay, now it still is looking like a crazy mess, but I promise when we get to the end, it's going to look really cool with our Eiffel Tower and our stencil design. So I decided that I needed a few little low-lying roof lines or buildings right there in the center. So I just added that on. And now I can set my Eiffel Tower right in the center, and you're really going to get a look at that, how it looks like you're peering down a street or an area, and the buildings that are dark are really close up, and then they get smaller and lighter in color as it moves further away. Now for the sky, I'm going to use our new wispy cloud stencil and some opaque white ink. And I'm just going to move those around on the sky portion of my card and blend on that opaque white ink. Now some of these I overlap, as you can see there on that one. And then some of them I just have wispy and loose in the background. So I'm going to finish up my clouds. And then I again can take my little Eiffel Tower die cut, and that was cut with the Parisian skyline scene building dies. I can take that and kind of set it up in the center to see exactly where I'm going to place it, and then where I want to put my sentiment and all the things like that. Now this is that super cute stamp with the bunnies on the little scooter from Enjoy the Ride. I'm adding some Neenah Solar White cardstock into my misti, and that's a brand new stamp. So I did get it a little bit dirty with some embossing ink, and I rubbed it away. That's just an easy way to prep your stamp to take the ink a little better, especially when they're brand new. So I stamped that a couple of times in some Copic Safe ink, and now I can take my little bunnies out and do some simple Copic coloring. And then I'm going to use the coordinating die to cut those out. Okay, once I get my die lined up, and sorry about my head there, I'm really getting over the top of those cute little bunnies, so I can make sure that everything is lined up. I don't want it to slip and mess up all that Copic coloring that I just did. So I got my head right over the top, lined it up with a little washi tape, and then ran that through my die machine. And now I am kind of trying to decide what sentiment I want to use, where I want to place my little bunnies touring around Paris on their little scooter. And I'm just kind of talking to myself, actually. So I am trying to decide what sentiment I want to use, and I'm going to use the Life is a Journey, Enjoy the Ride. And so my daughter was helping me there. You could see her hands there in the background. She thought that my little girl bunny needed a beret. And so I do stamp and fussy cut a little black beret for the little girl bunny. And so now I have got my sentiment stamped. Life is a journey, enjoy the ride. I'm going to place my Eiffel Tower right there in the center. And then you can really kind of see now where my vision for the stenciling and how everything kind of centers on the Eiffel Tower, like it's leading your eye towards the center. You can really see how that works now that I have that die cut set up right in the center. Okay, I adhered my scene panel there right onto a slimline card base, just in white cardstock. I'm going to add my little cute bunny image with a little bit of foam tape to pop that up. I'm going to peel off the backing of those, and then I decided that I was going to place my little bunnies on the left side of my card and my scene, because I'm going to have a lot of hearts kind of spilling out from the exhaust of that little scooter as they're kind of on their little journey around the city of Paris. So I'm going to add that right there to the bottom of my card. And I'm going to get that foam tape all set and squished down. I'm going to add the sweet little girl bunnies beret that my daughter told me that she just needed to have while she was on her little scooter ride. I love that. And then I'm taking some little clay bit hearts. So these are available at honeybeestamps.com in the embellishment section of the store. There's all different types of clay bits and bobs and hearts and different colors, and there are flowers and all types of fun things. So these are just kind of a reddish coral heart, and I thought that looked really cute with the little bunnies and the scooter. So I added just little dabs of our Honeybee Stamps Precision Tip Glue, and you can see those hearts are just spilling out as the little bunnies zoom by. I even added a little heart to the dot over the eye. And then you can see how my little vision and my scene all came together using the Parisian skyline stencils, the Parisian skyline scene building dies, and the Enjoy the Ride little bunnies there on their scooter. So it's so fun. You can see the skyline and the buildings in the background. And I just love that little stamp. Now this is it for day 5 of the Honeybee Stamps release. Thanks for joining me today. Make sure you check out the blog and all of our design team inspiration on all of our social media platforms. And I will talk to you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.